Hello everyone, and welcome to the game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Corn 1990, and I'm terribly sorry for mispronouncing it. Now he is in the Thunderer, a tier 10 British premium battleship. He is on the Tears of the Desert in a 3-point domination game. It's obviously a tier 10 battle. Carries only tier 8, not too many tier 10s around, and only 2 destroyers. So there is that. Probably not too many torpedoes to dodge in this one. Now he's making his way towards the A cap and he's currently looking towards the C side, hoping to catch some enemies in the broadside, I suppose, while they are positioning. Now I think his first salvo was armor piercing against the Neptune, but he's already switched to high explosive now. I guess he has given up on the hopes that the Petro comes around here for a broadside. Now this plan is probably just to burn quite a few ships here at the A side to a crisp, in good old British battleship fashion. And here they come. Well, actually, that's quite a lot of broadside. Armor piercing would have potentially done a lot, but you know, let's just get the fire started. Now he's currently moving towards that island. I'm not sure, he could just try to park behind this island. The island allows him to get a little bit of cover. He also has to be careful that he isn't exposing his broadside too much against those enemies, because that could hurt quite a bit. Also is already in concealment again. I mean, with those islands, it's possible that he can remain a bit unspotted. Then again, there is the enemy Erland. Actually, we don't know where this guy went, so he might be blocked by this island or by this island vision-wise. So the question remains, what's our Thunderer going to do? He could go nose in here, or well, at least be slightly angled nose towards the enemy. But it looks like he decides to take a more careful approach, and he's angling his ship away. Now, if you're with your rear against the enemy, you always have an easy option to retreat if it becomes necessary. But I mean, so far the enemy team hasn't been interested in too much, but that's a very dangerous broadside that he's showing there. That was just 18k with high explosive and a fire. It's slightly disgusting, isn't it? And honestly, he really should. I thought that he was going to go like nose away from them, but well, it looks like he's reversing. Yeah, I'd be way too afraid with this much broadside. But I guess if the enemy is ignoring him, it's gonna work out. Now, with the enemy's lack of angling, he could go armor piercing here, but as we have already established with an 18k salvo with high explosive, it's just... high explosive is really working, isn't it? Now overall, the friendly team has lost the sea cap. It looks like the friendly destroyer went down and the other friendly ships are way too scared to press the W key. And now the friendlies have secured A, so we are even when it comes to caps, although the enemy is trying to save. But I mean, the carrier could just this Aegis spotted or interrupt this Aegis, so there is that. Enemy team is one ship ahead, but it's still pretty much anyone's game. Not too much has happened so far. Also, I think I would use a heal here. I mean, of course, you could argue that if you not heal, you get more out of your adrenaline rush, which is a skill that, well, probably almost everyone has. But at the same time, I would heal here basically just to get the cooldown ready again. I mean, you have 5 heals, you have quite a lot that you can heal back, and then you get the cooldown on next heal started, and if you find yourself in a more sticky situation, you gotta heal again. And look at that. Just activated his captain skill here. And achieved the Witherer. So anyway. And he gets some more fires on the Georgia? Not right now. Now he's decided to take this aggressive and push in, and I definitely would heal right here. If you are... I mean, I agree with this aggressive approach here, right? The other side is lost, the enemy has 2 caps. And it looks like he can be a little bit more aggressive here. The enemy isn't really trying to stop him here. And I mean, they almost got this Georgia down. So, can we get some more fires? Well, not right now, but I don't think they are required anymore. So Öland is spotted, high explosive is loaded.
Torpedoes down.
And he's considering shooting the Georgia again, but I think the carrier might do the job. The Öland is probably a better target because we don't know if he's going to be visible again. So, yeah.
We sank an enemy destroyer.
Yeah. And there goes the Georgia. So, this is working perfectly. Now only 2 ships remain. And they should be able to deal with this hopefully rather quickly. And then they can reinforce the other side. The friendlies are currently even a ship ahead. They are 1 cap down, but you know. Not too bad. And he's using his heal. So, armor piercing it is now, because, I mean, you can only so long look at a juicy broadside like that and not wanna citadel it. So let's hope for many citadels. So what does RNG say? RNG says, oh hell yeah. So this Conqueror is done for. Next up, Moskva, the last remaining ship that they have on this flank. And he's already up to 200,000 damage in like 10 minutes. Well, actually a bit less than 10 minutes, so that's pretty impressive. What can you do against the broadside Moskva? Yeah. RNG give it, RNG take it away. Well, I mean, the Moskva is still broadside, no sign of angling. So let's try this again. And great success.
We sank an enemy cruiser.
Well, there's devastating strike and a Confederate, and he just got 1 more than his consumables. I mean, the heal might matter. The anti-air probably doesn't. So, by now, the enemy team has been rather decimated, it looks like. Despite the enemy team still controlling 2 camp circles, I don't think that's going to help him too much unless they devastate a few ships in rapid succession. So it looks like we got an E-gear coming this way. And planes, well... don't think he's going to do much against those planes. They are almost depleted already. So, I mean... E-gear is still 16 kilometers away and is currently behind an island. He is keeping an eye out on this area. There is a Neptune that... I mean, the Kronstadt could potentially... I haven't paid attention when the Kronstadt last used radar. But the Kronstadt looks like he might be close enough to find this Neptune if he has radar ready. And no, that's somebody else who is using radar. But, you know, it looks like the Salem was in range even, so we might be getting some juicy Neptune right now. Unfortunately, the guns are currently reloading. But, you know, he is reloading armor piercing, and that Neptune is churning exactly the way you'd want her to. So, come on, armor piercing. Do your job. Nice.
We sank an enemy cruiser.
Sometimes it just works. I could also heal it. I mean, at this point this game looks rather won. So he might just decide to get more out of his adrenaline rush to get faster reloading guns. Personally, I guess I would just heal. And it's hard to imagine a scenario where the enemy comes back from this. Let's look around. Well, there are some low health ships, I guess. If they'd take out a few of those, maybe. Also, let's slightly speed this up while he is approaching the A gear, and There you go, he has shots again, high explosive slow. I mean, the Jaeger is angled, so high explosive seems like a very good choice. And the friendly team has found the gearing. That gearing is probably getting farmed there. Look at that, he's... Well, I guess this is the first time that he really gets to shoot some planes. He's using his defensive fire, and in an act that surprises no one, he's basically not shooting down anything. Because, you know, anti-air is crap. Meanwhile, it looks like the Jaeger is on fire, although... Are those his fires? I don't know, don't think it matters too much. Yeah, he definitely has his fire ticking there. And he sees the patrols trying to get in on that action too. The Jaeger is almost down. And... there you go. So by now the enemy has barely anything remaining. There is still the carrier though, and you know, if he keeps pushing this way, maybe he can get himself some juicy carrier. Because nothing is more satisfying after a good game to just gear into a full health carrier. We got some shots out against the Petro, and I think the Petro is reversing behind that island, so I'm not sure how many small salvos he can get off this way. And it looks like he has decided to screw the Petro. He wants himself juicy carrier, so let's speed it up until he actually finds it.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
They're still trying to farm the Petro, who has meanwhile reversed behind those islands. And there we go. Juicy carrier. Still full health, so I mean, you know, there is more damage for our Thunderer to be farmed. And the Thunderer is way too healthy to get taken out by a carrier. He even has his heal ready. Not using defensive here. For whatever reason, maybe he just doesn't care anymore. No juicy Citadel so far, but the carrier is rapidly going down. So all that remains to be seen is, can he get the last hit on the carrier, or will his team arrive in time to steal the kill? Some torpedo bombers incoming, but you know, who cares at this point? And that's not the great dispersion now, is it? Well, and there are somebody else shares incoming. Well, turns out he didn't get the carrier, but you know, he earned himself a devastating strike, a Confederate, a Vidora, and a high caliber, scoring 371,000 points of damage. So yeah, there is that. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you guys next time.